Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. Let me briefly talk to you about sexual power. It's a very important topic here. So basically what corporations do is they have phallic symbols and other symbols everywhere that represents their quote-unquote sexual power. And they basically control who makes big bucks, who makes the money for the most part. And in a crony capitalist society, and I'm not saying it should be a communist society, mind you, in a crony capitalist society, that drastically affects who dates who. So corporations have the power to change the school system. They have the power to blacklist people, target people, cancel cultures, what have you. And they're controlling who dates who to a large degree, and then they're breaking into smaller groups and they're micromanaging that more than people might think here. So what most people don't seem to realize is the reason why the people are putting up with this has to do with their frontal lobe, aka the frontal cortex. So write down the phrase, the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe has everything to do with planning, judgment, making decisions, your choices, what you think is socially appropriate. It has to do with social behavior, especially social behavior in regards to what people think is appropriate, who they think it's appropriate to approach, who they think it's appropriate to give a chance to, right? It's the frontal lobe. It also has to do with movements, right, and sexual behavior. So when you look at martial arts, for example, it develops the frontal lobe, right? It changes the structure of the brain, the gray matter, the white matter, okay? How you focus on your tasks, your multitasking. It affects executive function, right, which is like the control center for your brain. For example, if you're going to execute a move, it has everything to do with your frontal lobe and your executive function. How you think, how you plan, making quick decisions, okay, making quick adjustments, your posture, your muscle tone, your body alignment. These things are controlled by the brain, right? And they're controlled by it more than people might think. People take that for granted. What does that mean? Well, you can, refine your brain. You can change your brain structure. You can change the microstructure of the white matter and the gray matter and change how you multitask and what skills you have in regards to multitasking. It affects your attention. There's different types of attention. So when corporations are getting away with this, it's because they're getting you to do things in a way that changes the structure of your brain in a way that's counterproductive. That's not conducive for freedom and insisting on a sound economic plan. The reason why people are not rallying to insist on a sound economic plan is because they have a certain immoral repetition every day that prevents their brain from being restructured in a way that would allow them to be intelligent. Thank you.